All right, ladies, gentlemen, and kiddies, thanks to Ducati of Manila, here in Manila, Philippines, in Quezon City. And today, I will be taste testing the Ducati Multistrada 1250, the base model. Take note, base model, not the S, not the Enduro, not the anniversary, whatever, the base Multistrada. So this is more to my liking. I'm more at home on this type of bikes, adventure touring. So there you go. So let's get it in. So of course, on taller motorcycles like this, I always use the pegs to get in like a horse, basically. Here we go. And since this one has a keyless entry system, I put the keys on my wallet. So let's start it out. First, procedure is to press this buzz with a circle on top first to turn on the instruments. Okay. Oh, there you go. Press the lock button below that, and then click up this kill switch up and use that lighting thing to turn it on. There you go. While I'm waiting for an escort, or if I'm good to go, ergonomics check. I'm 6'3", 200 to 220 pounds, with a 35-inch overall inseam, and no peg is hitting me. So the ergonomics on while standing is pretty good. Very roomy. Of course, this is an adventure touring bike, so it might feel a little intimidated at first, but I'm more at home with this type of bike. It has some multiple mode features in here. It's on sport mode at the moment. The DTC is set to number 4, ABS set to number 2, and DWC set to number 2. Another fun fact about this is you can adjust the windshield in one hand like that. BMW has the swivel, the knob, a big knob right here, and the KTM's has one a little bit more cumbersome. This one is a little bit easy to use when you're using it one hand. Just like I think that the Tracer has the same feature too as this one. At the first glance, the gauge cluster is a little bit on the plain side. It looks like a Casio watch, basically like the Yamahas, the Yamaha triples, like the MT-09, MT-07, and the older FJ-09, Tracer 900s, except with the TFT ones, of course. Another fun fact about this bike is that it has that little key symbol. That means it's a keyless entry. So that's a nice touch. This very bike is not part of the test fleet here in Ducati Manila, but this is part of the demo bike fleet. So which means if you have your Ducati, if you need your Ducati to be serviced, they might loan you this bike here in Ducati Manila. Ducati Manila, but it's in Quezon City, in Katipunan Road. Oh well. So initial impressions on this bike while I'm waiting for the crew to get ready. The seat on this bike makes you feel that you're sucked in. You don't have much play for you to move your butt forward or aft, forward and backwards. So the seat on this bike is like it's scooped into you. So you're well planted into this bike, and plus, with the overall design of this fine Italian motorcycle, yeah, it scoops you in. So that's where you need to get to. Also, I was planning to do a ride-along test on the Multistrada Enduro, but unfortunately that didn't go through because it's all rattly and crap. So at least I'd like to test the base Multistrada. Alrighty, let's go. Very punchy bike. Alrighty. First impressions, it feels very smooth. Handlebar vibrations on this bike is evident, very evident. It has a minimal vibrations on my seat, and also actually it has an evident vibration on my foot pegs also. Suspension is very firm but smooth. it toggles the bumps really well. The front brakes is very tactile and somewhat sensitive at some degree. The rear brakes has a little bit of a play, but it's also tactile and easy to modulate. The engine sound on this thing is really growly, but it really does feel light as you go on. It has that a little bit of R1200 GS feel to it. The gear selector is on the light side, and later I will evaluate its grab bite. The torque is instantaneous as expected on a 1200, almost a 1300cc motorcycle. Okay, elevated cracks, you never don't want to cross that. The clutch brake resistance is pretty light, but the engagement is the clutch release bite engages almost at between 85 to 95%, depends on how fast you're moving, but it really triggers it a little bit late. So right now we're testing its lane splittedness. Of course, this is a white bike, and since I'm riding a V-Strom here in the Philippines, it's pretty, I'm very familiar on its width. It has a very wide handlebars, so filtering like a very busy street like this might not be so favorable to you if you're not used to it. Sure, this is one of those big adventure bikes that you can buy right now, like the Super Adventure KTM, the R1200 GS BMW, and a lot like that. It's very maneuverable. The throttling on this bike is a little bit on the rougher side. It has that minimal on and off feel to it, so you better be careful. The instrumentations in here is kind of on the busier side, but once you get used to it, it's gonna be fine. He has that Italian horn. Rev matching this thing is pretty easy, pretty damn easy. And I think it's drizzling right now. Oh, he has a quick shifter! Holy crap! He has a quick shift up, but not down. Let's see how does it feel to stand up on this bike. Okay, the handlebars is a little bit on the lower side. Yeah, the handlebars for me is a little bit too low when you stand up, but when you're sitting like this, you're a little bit more comfortable. The mid-range torque on this thing is just amazing. It's amazing. Besides the vibrations of the handlebars, I'm pretty damn comfortable in this bike, and it feels lighter than it is. Yeah, most people might get accustomed to this type of motorcycle. And also, it's not as hulking as the R1200 or the KTM. It's easy to maneuver because of its I think this is a V-twin also. Yeah! 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 What's that? It handles the bumps very, very well. Yes! Actually, it feels light. It feels light on his feet. It feels very light on its feet for a big adventure bike like this. I'm very impressed, and it's drizzling really bad right now. And good thing this is my last lap on riding this bike. So late splitting, sure, it's not an underbone or a hypermotard or a clip-on bike like that Scrambler Cafe that I was rolling with, like that guy. Like all medium-sized to full-size adventure bikes like this one, you gotta compromise with the handlebars a little bit, or even some naked bikes that have the same ergonomics on that. It's very, I like it. It's very comfortable, but the vibrations on the handlebars really turns me off a little bit. And even for a base model, it has a cruise control. So there you go. Something to point out. It doesn't feel top heavy, which is amazing, which is a very good trait on this bike. And it's easy to stand up, but you gotta rise this handlebar a little bit for my height, because I'm very tall for a Filipino. Ano naman? Okay. And for me, in my personal opinion, the TFT gauge for me is a little too busy. The fonts are all looks the same. Nothing stands out on this TFT gauge. Flicking this bike is a little easy once you get used to it. Yeah, the TFT gauge here is a little bit on the busier side, so you still have to get used to it when you go at it. I'm so used to using the clutch to go upshift, but this one has a quick upshifter. So we're back to Ducati Manila, and we're gonna park this bike. I'm gonna park this bike next to the Enduro, next to it. So at least you guys can get a good idea how big the Enduro is compared to the standard Multistrada. So we're back here, and we put it to neutral. Okay, another thing about this bike, it's hard to put it to neutral. Oh well, I'll turn it off, whatever. I can't put it to neutral, unfortunately. So the kickstand is easy to find and feather light. For some reason, the lever is very fluid. So to lock this bike back up, just press this little key button right here to make it totally off. Very good. And we got off the bike. And this is the Multistrada standard 1250. And that's the old 1200 Enduro. As you can see the difference between these two. This one has a bigger tank. This one has a tinier tank. If you want to know, or if you want to get into the Multistrada culture, skip the 950. I haven't ridden the latest 950 with the revisions yet, but on the debut model of the 950, I did not like it. Just to plain it simply. This one is it's a little bit better. Actually, a lot better. When I rode the Enduro, it has the same quirks as this one has, that the vibration, the handlebars and everything. And then as you can see, it has that beautiful Ducati badge right there, beautiful styling. And this is 100% standard bike. This is what you get on the base end on the 1200 series. It's not like the 950 where they skimped a lot of stuff on it. I pretty like the bike. It has one-sided fork. Awesome. So as you can see the difference between this gigantic Enduro and the regular Multistrada. So it has a nice V-twin engine in it, or L-twin, whatever you call it. Also, this one has chain drive too. And yeah, this is a good sport touring bike at some degree. This is a good alternative to the Versys 1000. If you want to get into the Italian thing. I haven't ridden the Moto Guzzi version, no, the MV Angusta version of this, and the Aprilia version that competes with this bike. So I cannot say what I say on it. But compared to the S1000 XR, well, I like that XR a lot. So yeah. But for a 1250 standard bike, it's awesome. I'll give it one thumb up on this one because it has some niggles. It has that Blizzy TFT gauge and that the stubborn clutch lever. It can't go to neutral that much, and the vibrations on the handlebars. So yeah. So there you go. Please follow me on Facebook, Lapid Vlogs, Instagram, my website mellapid.com, and here subscribe, click that bell button, and there you go. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Thank you.